Alright, so let's talk about all the crazy Marvel stuff happening right now, because honestly, it feels like every week there's a new rumor, a new leak, or a new "this photo is totally real" moment that ends up being fake. Starting with Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, one of the biggest things people are freaking out about is Mary Jane apparently having a new love interest in this movie. And get this, the rumor is that Robert Pattinson might actually be playing the guy, whose name is Paul. Yeah, Batman. Batman might be stealing Spider-Man's girlfriend. Peter Parker really has the worst luck of all time. Like, it's not enough this dude has to pay rent, balance work, save the city, and constantly get his butt kicked by supervillains. Now he's gotta compete with Edward Cullen, aka the sparkly vampire turned Dark Knight. That's next level pain. But honestly, this could be interesting. Giving MJ another boyfriend makes her feel more human, and less like the automatic endgame love interest. If Paul is actually developed well, it could be a real challenge for Peter. Emotionally, maybe even morally. Do you fight for MJ? Do you let her move on? Do you screw up your own life again for love? That's the kind of tension that makes Spider-Man stories hit. And speaking of tension, the main villain of Brand New Day is rumored to be a female shapeshifter. And man, if that's true, that is such a good choice. We've seen Peter fight all kinds of people: goblins, scientists, symbiotes, lizards. But a shapeshifter? That's next level paranoia. Imagine Peter thinking he's talking to MJ, and it turns out to be the villain. Or he's about to tell his best friend a secret, and boom, it's a trap! That's psychological warfare, not just punching another guy in a suit. And Marvel could do something wild here, either bringing in a lesser-known character from the comics or just creating a brand new one for this storyline. Either way, it keeps Spider-Man stories feeling fresh. Now, while Spidey's juggling all of that, Deadpool, aka Ryan Reynolds, is working behind the scenes on his own master plan. Word is he's cooking up a Mutants team-up movie for the next saga of the MCU right after Avengers Secret Wars. Which makes sense because Deadpool and Wolverine is basically the door-opening moment for mutants in the MCU. And you know Ryan Reynolds, he's gonna make this thing wild. Probably Deadpool dragging together a ragtag crew of mutants who don't really want to be a team, but end up being the team we fall in love with. And this might even be Marvel's clever way of sneaking the X-Men in without dropping the whole roster at once. And speaking of the X-Men, Marvel's big brain plan for the next saga of the MCU apparently revolves around Mister Sinister and Apocalypse. And I gotta say, if that's true, then buckle up, because these two aren't just villains. They're like the Thanos level, reality-shaking, we're not walking out of this movie emotionally stable type of villains. Mr. Sinister is obsessed with genetic perfection. He's basically a mad scientist who treats mutants like lab rats. And Apocalypse? This dude is ancient. We're talking the first mutant ever, worshipped as a god, all about survival of the fittest. Thanos snapped half the universe, but Apocalypse? He'll look at you and say, "You're weak. You don't deserve to exist." Imagine those two teaming up as the big bads of the next saga. Marvel apparently already has names in mind for who they want to cast, but nothing's confirmed yet. Whoever they choose, these are roles that could define careers. But let's pivot into Avengers Doomsday because the theories around this are crazy. So check this, in the original MCU timeline, like before Kang took over the multiverse, Doctor Doom and Iron Man were arch enemies. Makes total sense, they're both geniuses, both arrogant, both trying to control the future in their own way. But then Kang wins the multiversal war, and here's where it gets nuts. Kang rewrote Doom's story. Instead of Doom rising up to become this unstoppable threat, Kang basically nerfed him. And of course, Kang did this because Doom is the one guy who could actually overthrow him. If you read the comics, Doom doesn't kneel to anyone. Not Thanos, not Galactus, not even gods. Doom is Doom. So the Council of Kangs knew they couldn't beat him directly, so they just rewrote reality to sideline him. And that's probably what Avengers Doomsday is gonna explore. Doom breaking free, reclaiming his true destiny, and going full villain while the Avengers stand in the middle like, guys? Which evil genius do we fight first? That's the kind of cosmic, brain-melting storytelling that makes Marvel fans lose their minds. And speaking of losing their minds, Channing Tatum literally said Avengers Doomsday is going to make Marvel fans physically lose their actual minds. His words. He compared it to that moment Blade walks on screen in Deadpool and Wolverine, but multiplied by 50. And if you're wondering what that even looks like, yeah, our brains basically dripping out our ears like melted cheese. That's how much hype he's talking. And it's not just hype either. Avengers Doomsday is rumored to feature insane cameos. Ghost Rider, for example, could show up. Imagine a flaming skull biker just rolling into an Avengers battle like it's no big deal. On top of that, multiple other characters are set to appear. It's basically gonna be Marvel's chance to one-up the Avengers Assemble moment from Endgame. Now let's circle back real quick to Spider-Man. Yes, Tom Holland is officially back on set for Brand New Day. And before you ask, no, that leaked photo of Tobey Maguire with Channing Tatum was fake. I know, heartbreaking. But that doesn't mean Tobey is out of the picture forever. In fact, Mattson Tomlin, who worked on the Batman, is trying to pitch Spider-Man 4 to Sam Raimi, and his idea is genius. He wants Tobey's Spider-Man to be balancing life as a husband and father while still being the wall crawler. Imagine a middle-aged Peter Parker trying to help his kid with homework, then swinging out to fight crime 5 minutes later. That's peak Spider-Man. Speaking of Raimi, his original Spider-Man trilogy just got re-released, and it made over $2.2 million opening weekend. That's nostalgia printing money. Studios look at that and go, yeah, Spider-Man 4 could absolutely work. People would show up just to hear Tobey say "my back" one more time. Marvel Studios has confirmed that Avengers Secret Wars is their 40th film, the Big 4-0. And weirdly enough, it's the only MCU movie locked in for 2027, dropping on December 17th. Another untitled project was pulled from that year's slate, and in its place, The Simpsons Movie 2. Yeah, no joke. And finally, Marvel is reportedly planning an absolutely aggressive marketing campaign for Avengers Doomsday. With Endgame, they had a whole decade of setup to build hype. This time, they don't. So the strategy is to go all in. Teasers, cameos, leaks, every trick in the book to get audiences hooked again. Which honestly, they kinda need. Because fans are hungry for another massive Marvel event, and Doomsday might just be the one that delivers. So yeah, between Spider-Man, Brand New Day drama, RDJ possibly becoming Doom, Mutants joining the MCU, and the sheer chaos of Avengers Doomsday, Marvel is setting the stage for something absolutely massive. It's gonna be emotional, it's gonna be insane, and it's definitely gonna make our wallets cry.